Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Nick from ForexForNoobs.com with the daily analysis. I should stop calling it the daily analysis because we don't actually do it every day for public members. Uh, it's only really 2 days a week, but I haven't got a better name, so let's stick with the daily analysis for now. So today is Thursday, the 7th of February 2019, and the time is 11:01 here in the UK. In today's analysis, we're going to be looking for price action setups across all these pairs listed to the right here. When I say price action setups, I mean continuations, reversals, all kinds of setups. First of all, we're going to look at the news, see what's happening news-wise, because it is a pretty potentially big news day for the pound anyway. So we got the BOE inflation report, we got the official bank rate votes, blah, blah. And the monetary policy summary. Now, this might not cause anything because it's most likely going to come out as expected, but you never know. With interest rate stuff, it's like one of the, probably the biggest mover of the pound. The biggest regular one. I'm not talking about Brexit, which is like in another league, but this is the biggest regular economic release that can have a big impact on the pound. So always watch out around interest rate announcements, guys. That's coming out in about an hour, so be careful around then. And then 30 minutes later, BOE Governor Carney is speaking. Basically, you can read, whenever you're on Forex Factory, just click on this little folder and then you can read a breakdown of what it's going to be about. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, though. He's going to be speaking and people might be reacting to what he says. And he's pretty much the most important person in the UK when it comes to the economy. I mean, I guess it's a toss-up between him and May. He's more important for the economy, but what May says can have a bigger impact, technically speaking, especially relating to Brexit on currency price. But yeah, he's one of the top people. So yeah, let's watch out for that, guys. Anytime during speeches, give it a good hour. Speeches usually run for an hour. You got 30 minutes of prepared speech, 30 minutes of audience questions. This one's probably not going to be the same, but yeah, just give it a good hour anyway, just to be careful, where you don't trade GBP or you be very careful with GBP. Right, so let's take a look at some trades. On Tuesday's analysis, I shared a potential GBP AUD long. That ended up triggering, ended up going quite well. Hasn't hit target yet, stalling out right now. Well, no, actually, it probably has hit target, really. I didn't enter this one, by the way. It turned around too fast. That's why I'm not sure if it's hit target, because I'm saying, for those of you who did enter, it might have hit target. But I personally didn't get in. It just turned around way too quickly, so I kind of missed this move. See that big move there? Yeah, actually, it probably has hit target for most of you who were in it. Oh, there you go. Ronnie got target. Nice. So most of you who are in it probably hit target. I mean, it's even if you haven't hit target, at this point it is so close to your target, for sure, unless you have a crazy target, that it's not worth holding for the next hour when the inflation stuff comes out. And when the speech is happening. You don't want to hold it through this. So if you're in and it hasn't yet hit target, just get out because it's just not worth the risk. I mean, you could also just move your stop loss to break even. You can move your stop loss into profit. That's another option if you want to. But, you know, don't just keep your stop loss in a loss and hold on to this trade through a major report like this if you're still in it. USDJPY. I'm short on USDJPY. I believe I shared this trade on Tuesday or on Wednesday. I entered it yesterday. Obviously not going that well. not going that well at all. It's just kind of sitting around the entry. I'm going to hold on to it. I mean, it does take a little while these days with the lower volatility for trades to, you know, go in the direction you want them to go. And this was a risky trade going in. I didn't really... I gave this trade about a 50-50. Pretty risky trade. Counter to the trend, in my opinion. A lot of people would argue that the trend is still bearish, but I am pretty sure this trend is turning around and starting to go up. So I'm countering this new bullish trend. So, you know, this was a 50-50 shot. And it doesn't seem to be going well right now, but I'm going to hold on and just let it run. This could completely turn around. It's still stuck at this resistance area. You know, when you're in a trade, you start to worry when it starts getting beyond that resistance area, but now it's stuck at that resistance area, so I'm not too worried right now. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to say about this. I'm just going to hold on to it and wait and see. EUROCAD, nothing going on there. That's some lower time frame stuff. That's members only. Speaking of lower time frames, I shot a live trade video yesterday. I posted it to the forum, but I think I'm going to put it up on YouTube also today. Yeah, well, I mean, it's on YouTube, but I think I'm going to post it publicly on YouTube so you guys can see, you know, an example of trading 5-minute charts with price action. But anyway, we'll do that later. Let's look for current trades. Euro New Zealand. Ooh, that looks okay. But only okay. I'll adjust this down a bit, more in line with the recent bounces. Yeah, I mean, there's potential for a short trade here. Continuation, reversal, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's hard to label sometimes if it's a continuation because it's hard to definitively say what way the trend's going. But yeah, there's potential for a short trade here. Let's wait for this daily candle to close. Some of you might want to enter on the 12-hour. Euro New Zealand's not been bad lately in terms of setups. Euro New Zealand has been pretty decent. Moved pretty nicely. So yeah, there's definitely potential here for a short trade, guys. Let's keep a close eye on this one. You could enter on the 12-hour if you want. 12-hour would be something like this. 1675 for the entry, 1685, 16851 for the stop, so that's a 100 pip stop, and 16561 for the target. I mean, those are just rough numbers. I mean, obviously, I haven't really. I just threw this thing up without taking a proper look, but you know that just gives you a rough idea. Now, entering on the 12-hour is a little bit riskier than entering on the daily. As always, the lower the time frame, the riskier the setup. A lot of people, they tend to, especially new traders, they tend to lack the patience and they let FOMO, fear of missing out, take over. And they'll just jump into a trade on the lowest time frame possible because they don't want to miss the move. And it, you know, usually ends up in a loss. So I'm not saying it's bad to enter on the 12-hour. I'd take 12-hour trades quite often. I'm just saying if you're going to enter on the 12-hour, you need to do the analysis and make a proper decision and not just jump in out of fear of missing out. So think about what you're doing. Don't just jump in because you don't want to miss the setup. So this is viable on the 12-hour for sure. A bit riskier on the 12-hour, but viable. If it starts moving down, there's definitely potential to get in a short trade here. If I were entering on the 12-hour, I might put my my entry a bit lower just to confirm that bears are taking control of price. If you drop that target a bit lower, you can still get a pretty good risk to reward ratio. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about this. It was driven up by news, I believe. Yeah, we had the New Zealand unemployment rate. In yesterday's analysis, that was a members-only analysis for those who are confused that there was no analysis. But for members only, there was analysis yesterday. I said that we didn't really have to worry about New Zealand in terms of the employment change and the unemployment rate. Now, that's because 99% of the time, you do not have to worry about this report. It doesn't have a big impact. But sometimes it is way off consensus, and it's quite rare. It's way off consensus, and then it causes a big move in New Zealand. So, you know, when I say you don't have to worry about it, it's because 90%, or maybe not 99%, but let's say 95% of the time, you don't actually have to worry about it. But hey, every now and then you get something coming off way off consensus and it causes a big move that can affect your positions. But the good thing about big moves caused by news is they tend to retrace pretty quick, going back to where price was originally. So with this example here, this move was caused by news, and now it looks like it might retrace back down to where it was originally, which would be pretty cool because that'd be quite a nice little trade. So let's keep a close eye on Euro New Zealand because there's a potential short setup here. 12-hour or daily, up to you how you decide to trade it, but it is a setup. AUD USD. I think I need to adjust these support resistance areas a little bit on AUD USD. They're getting a bit old, and they need a bit of adjusting. But yeah, right now there's nothing there. Euro AUD, nothing much. Nothing much going on there. Euro JPY, short trade open here that some of you are in. I've been having a pretty crappy start to 2019, to be honest. Not in the sense that trades haven't been profitable. There's been two things that have made it crappy for me. One, I have shared a bunch of trades that I missed that were very profitable. So I spotted them, I shared them with you guys, but for whatever reason, I just missed getting into them. The few trades I've got into that I managed to catch, they've turned out average, some of them break even, some of them getting out with a very minor gain. And yesterday, as you'll see in the live trade video, I entered a scalp trade and I completely screwed up on the position sizing. And yeah, you can see that in the video. So because of mistakes and missing trades, I've had a pretty it's not been a great start to 2019 for me. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. It's just that's just how trading goes sometimes. You're not always going to get off to a great start, and you're not always going to have an awesome, great month. Sometimes things just get in the way. So yeah, EURJPY is one of these examples where I went for USDJPY instead of EUROJPY, which both had very similar setups. USDJPY is the one just stalling out completely, and EUROJPY is the one that's moving towards where the target would have been. So yeah, I mean, that's just trading, isn't it? GBPAUD, I'm not sure why I have this pair open here. AUD New Zealand, it's just moving sideways on this support area. I'm not doing anything here, no way. USDCHF, that looks pretty cool. We have price hitting resistance, stalling out on resistance. Definite potential for a short trade here, guys. Let's keep a close eye on it. Let's see what happens with this daily candle. Again, you could probably, yeah, if you want to, you could enter on the 12-hour. Again, slightly riskier on the 12-hour. It's actually about to trigger on the 12-hour. Conservative target with this one, guys, but you don't have to be over conservative, because you have quite a bit of room to move down. Now, you can get a nice big stop loss and a nice wide entry and still get a good risk to reward ratio. But, you know, you don't have to go nuts. Something like this is totally doable for this trade. So entry price is at 1.001. You could probably drop that entry a tad lower just so it's beyond that cycle level. Actually, it's probably not worth dropping it a tad lower. But see, this is an important level, this 1.00 for USDCHF. Whenever it gets here, it tends to react pretty strongly. We could see there. Now, not at the exact level, but around this area is what I mean. So we could see here, when it got to this area, it turned around. Here, when it got to this area, it turned around. Because this is a massive psychological level. It's parity with the US dollar. It's 1-to-1. So it's a very significant psychological level. And you just see countless examples of it happening. Here again, so this was November 2017, May 2018, July 2018, and this was, where was that big drop on USDCHF? I can't find it easily. Oh, there it is. And then of course we got that big drop, which happened from up here, but that was that crazy event at the start of 2015. But anyway, back to my main point. USDCHF is at parity, and it is reacting there. So there's definite potential for a short here, guys. You could enter on the 12, you can enter on the daily. Yeah, definite potential for a short setup. So I'm going to mark it here. GBPJPY just headed down to support. Nothing much going on there. GBP New Zealand, yeah, nothing much going on there. GBP USD, I was hoping yesterday for price to stall out on this level, getting on a potential long trade, but it just hasn't happened. It didn't stall where I wanted it to. I don't know why I moved that. It didn't stall where I wanted it to stall. I mean, it could still stall out here, but right now it looks like it's headed down. So, Euro GBP, there was nothing. Euro USD is headed down to the support area. Watch for what happens when it hits this support area, because this is part of a pretty significant range for Euro USD. You can see it's been trapped in this range, and price has been moving like crap. It's been trapped in this range for a while. Now, it did break out every now and then, but that's normal. Price breaks out of ranges and then gets vacuumed back into the range. So now it's back in that range. It's heading down quite fast. Look for what happens when it hits the bottom of that range, guys. There could be a potential long there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to mark it because it could hit the bottom of that range by the end of the day. And then you could be looking at a potential long on the 12-hour. You know, it wasn't really moving cleanly through this range for a very long time, but lately it has been moving pretty cleanly through it. So there is definitely potential to go in long because the range is kind of cleared up in terms of the messiness that we were seeing previously. New Zealand JPY, nothing much. New Zealand USD, nothing much. USD CAD, nothing much. And that wraps it up. So there's not that much today. We got a potential Euro New Zealand short. We got a potential USDCHF short. And we got Euro USD heading down to support, where there might be a potential long there if it stalls out. So yeah, like I said, not that much, but also not horrible. Just an average Thursday. Are there any questions, guys? All right, it doesn't look like there is any questions, so I'm going to wrap this thing up for today. I'll see you guys on the forum for members, and for everyone else, I'll see you on Tuesday's analysis. Thank you for attending, and I'll see you guys later.